Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We are coming to you live on SNNLive. We're here at the Cambridge House Conference. It's the Resource Investment in Toronto 2011. I'm here with Brent Cook, the Exploration Insights letter writer.
That's right.
And the featured speaker at the Cambridge House Conference. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thanks. Good to be here once again.
Well, it's been a monumental period of time in the metals industry, period.
Yep.
And that's probably an understatement. What is your insight?
I think where we're at now, I'll start with precious metals. We've got, all the issues in Europe, the sovereign debt, the bank debt, the bank's about to implode, I think. All that's going to be recapitalized. What that's going to do, I believe, is push money out of Europe into two things, the dollar and gold. Both of those are set to go up, and I think gold's going to go up more than the price of is relative to the dollar. So we're looking at 10-year bull market in gold. I suspect we're going to see this go quite a bit longer. So I'm pretty positive on gold. Base metals, if the global economy is actually slowing, which I think it is, we could see a bit of a pull off on that. But the reciprocal of that is we've reached a point in time where we can no longer find, develop, and begin producing enough metal to replace what's being produced already. So we're in a unique situation, just like you said.
Let me throw you the curveball question. You have these junior exploration companies. Their stock prices are lagging terribly. Why?
I think there's two reasons. One, most of them don't have anything. They're just exploring. And the second is that, it's a risky environment out there. We've got, the things I mentioned, an election coming up in the U.S., those sorts of things. And people are just nervous about investing in these highest risk sector, which is junior explorers. So that's why they're lagging. Plus, as I said, most of them don't really have anything but a geochemical anomaly. And Mother Nature has been incredibly good to us geologists, and that she's scattered geochemical anomalies all over the world. 99 out of 100 of them are no more than geochemical anomalies. So it's really hard to find an economic deposit, and that takes a lot of time and money. And that's why they're lagging.
Good answer. Because, I think that, our viewers are always interested in having insight and perspective into what's going on in the area, because you've got most of this conference is junior exploration companies. Most of them have cash. They're out there raising money to do drilling, right? So if they have an anomaly turn out to be something more, then what next?
Well, it's a matter of reinterpreting the data, right? You're dealing with blind, basically. We're sitting at the surface, we don't know what's beneath it, and we're interpreting what little bit of data we had, and we drill it with a drill hole and find out that, maybe the mineralization sits a different way, or it's not there, or we reinterpret. So that just takes more time and such. On my website, I've got a video that runs through an evaluation I did of a project in the Yukon, and it's worth going to. And I also got a new tab called Geo Insights, where I pulled out all my old out of the newsletter, the geologic discussions I've done, and put them up there for everybody. So that's worth looking at as well. But it's just a really tough business. It's a tough business, and geology is not an exact science.
Well, I thank the powers that be for instituting the 43-101. So, we have less lying and more production out there. I would assume that. Do you agree with that?
The 43-101, which is a report that, it's a standard that people have to come to report information, has certainly improved things, but we're still dealing with variables, too many variables, and interpretations, subjective interpretations. So I read a lot of 43-101s, and there's a certain percent of them that are really not very good. So you can't rely on them either.
So let me ask you, when you're looking for a junior exploration company to invest in, my thinking is that now it really comes down to riding the jockey. Who's done it before? I think the historical analysis of the guy holding the pick, so to speak, is a generally a good way to go. Do you agree with that?
I do. For people that aren't technically involved in this, like geologist or someone like myself who really gets into the details, you've got to go with the jockey for sure. And you go with someone you want a company that's honest. A fellow you look at how many shares they own personally, what their insider sales are like, and that sort of thing. And go to a company's website. If a real simple tool anyone can use is when a company releases a news release, if it's not accompanied with maps, sections, that data, it tells you one of two things. Either they're incompetent and can't get it out to you, or they're trying to hide something. And that's a basic rule that anyone can go through. You don't have to understand what the geology is, what the cross sections, all that sort of there. Just seeing the data posted tells you a lot about the people behind the company.
That's really good for our investment and investor viewers, because all of these little tools, almost borderline tricks of the trade, are very handy to have. Okay, so tell us, what do you see in the near term?
Okay, well, the Yukon's been real hot, right? And a lot of people got in. There's hundreds of companies up there working, and I think we've seen the prices rise, and now they're starting to fall. By December, I expect we'll be able to have a lot more data back on these companies that are exploring up there, and pick out the few that have something of value and buy them cheaper than we could last year at this time or today. So I'm looking at the Yukon. I like the Yukon. In the newsletter, we've only bought one Yukon company because there's just too much going on. And I think quality deposits. I look at not ounces in the ground per se. I look at margin on ounces in the ground, meaning a deposit's got to make money. If I'm a mining company, I need to replace the 2 million ounces I just produced. I'm going to do it with quality deposits. I'm not going to buy some low-grade thing that doesn't make money. So that's the key. Like any business, making money.
And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find out more information at the website that Brent's about to tell us.
Right. My website is explorationinsights.com. There's lots of free information there. There's the video I mentioned, a couple of reports. I'm always happy to interact with interested potential subscribers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brent, thank you so much for coming on to SNNLive.
Thanks. Always a pleasure.
You got it.